First, I'd like to thank the Briarcliff Manor Union Free School District for allowing us the use of their facilities as they have in prior years, and for waiving the fees that they otherwise would have to charge. I would also like to thank everyone for turning out on this rather cold night. Thankfully, it's not snowy, but we have this facility to use tonight, and we do have snow dates scheduled as well in case. I'm going to read the mission statement of the caucus. So we've had a lot of questions from people, and I'd like to clarify things for them. So the People's Caucus is a nonpartisan civic organization which has as its goal encouraging candidates to seek local elected office. Anyone who's resident in the village of Briarcliff Manor for at least 30 days and who is eligible to vote in a general election is automatically a member of the caucus, irrespective of any political party affiliation. Any member of the caucus may seek nomination for election to local elected village offices or to the caucus's executive committee. At this point, I'd like to ask the secretary if she has the minutes for the prior year's nominating and meet the candidates meeting, and if there is anyone who would entertain, or the chair will entertain a motion to waive the reading of the minutes. They are long. Mr. Austin, do we have a second? Mr. O'Leary, thank you. You're relieved, Toby.
I thank you wholeheartedly.
Okay, we're at the point where we're going to ask the treasurer to give his annual report.
Hi, I'm Lewis Linder, treasurer. Oh. Can you hear me now? Oh, sorry. Lewis Linder, treasurer of the Briarcliff Manor People's Caucus. This is the treasurer's report for the period of January 11th, 2015 through January 13th, 2016. First, I'm going to read the cash flow, and then we'll talk about the budget. So in the operating statement on page 1, there are copies in the back if you want to get a copy. For revenues, we collected $3,430 so far this year, and as revenues. Expenses, I'm not going to read all the breakout. You can read that for yourself. It has its mailing services and printing and the video and advertising in the Gazette and so on, as a total of $2,719.75. So revenues in excess of expenses, that means what we're left with is $710.25 when you net that out. We had an opening balance coming forward of $2,213.58. So that leaves us with an ending balance in the bank of $2,923.83. For our 2015-2016 operating budget, the line items in there are the Westchester County Board of Elections poll roster book, which is required if we go to a contested election, videotaping, media and services, printing and mailing services, our post office box, our contributions to the Community Day and the Harvest Fair activities, the website that we host, and our media advertising. And this year you'll hear more about our student intern scholarship essay award. Comes to a total of $4,500. So we still have some fundraising to do. You'll hear more about that from Aaron as well. But that is the state of our books.
Thank you. And now I can correct some of my opening mistakes. If you turn around in the back, you'll see that we are being videotaped by Cecilia Rohr from VisiTouch, as she has done in the past. She does an excellent job. If you've ever gone to our website, you can check the videos there. And the rest of the caucus executive committee, starting from Mr. Linder, is Larissa Palmeno, and Larissa is the vice chair. To her right is Toby Clarnett, who is the secretary, and to her right is Clarissa Gioscia, who is a member at large. Except for Clarissa, who joined the committee last year, the other members have been on the committee for the 5 years I've been on it as well, and given you great service. So my thanks to all of them. You've seen this hat before. I inherited this from Mr. Austin. Every year at this meeting, we have passed the hat to raise funds. We're going to try to do something different this year. instead of passing the hat to raise funds, we're organizing a fundraiser. And that fundraiser will involve a wine tasting with some Bordeaux wines from 1985 through 2005. And there'll be appetizers and a cheese platter. And Mike Risco and his wife have agreed that they will entertain at the fundraiser, which will be scheduled either for February 20th or a weekend date around that time. We are working to have it hosted in a local restaurant, although it's been too expensive so far. Mr. O'Leary is going to seek Beechwood as an alternate venue for us, and we will try to arrange to have it done there if he's successful. If not, we'll find another solution. So Louis, you don't have to worry about handling cash anymore. At this point, I'd like to describe the nominating protocol, and then we'll open the nominations for village trustee positions. A nominator will be given an opportunity for a 3-minute presentation to explain why they're entering a name in nomination. That there will be a second requested from the audience. Then we will call the candidate up to the podium, and they will be given up to 5 minutes to introduce themselves, although I'm sure most, if not all of you, know them already. And they will tell you why they're seeking, in this case, re-election to the village offices. So at this point, I'm going to open the floor for nominations for the position of village trustee. Do I see any? Mr. Francesi?
I'd like to nominate
Wait,
Mark Powell.
I'm going to call you up here after I get a second. And do we have a second? Mr. O'Leary, thank you very much. Would you come on up? I got the watch on you.
You won't need it. My name is Pete Francis. I live at 26 Jackson Road. I've been a village resident for about 18 or 19 years. And I would like to nominate Mark Powell to the position of village trustee. Mark and I have been friends for 30 years. He's been my brother-in-law for about 27 years. And I've seen a few elections in this town, village, school board, and I can tell you that a guy like Mark only comes along once every so often. Mark Powell has no ego. He has no agenda, and he does not run to seek anybody's validation. His life's body of work is commitment to other people, to help other people, and he is running solely to serve this village. If he is reelected, this will be to his 3rd term. The first 2 terms, they've done a tremendous amount of work. He's got a lot done, and I think he's earned the right to get back there and get back to work. I hope you'll support me and support Mark Powell for election. Thank you.
Are there any other nominations? Carrie? And do we have a second? Carrie. Carrie and Carrie, that's nice.
I will not be 3 minutes.
Now you can use your 3 minutes. We haven't heard you speak.
My name is Carrie Rows, and I grew up here in Briarcliff on Valentine Road. I've known Chazar since we were in the 6th grade together at Todd Elementary School. We've been married for almost 8 years and reside in North State Road with our 2 small children. Chazar has enjoyed the last 2 years as a Briarcliff trustee and wishes to continue giving back to the community that we've both grown up in, which is why I'm nominating him tonight. Thank you.
Are there any other nominations for the position of village trustee? Okay. Mr. Chatzky. Are you nominating somebody?
I am.
Okay. We need to ask for a second, so you need to announce who it is.
Sure. I will nominate Mary Satrin. Can I
Okay,
have a second?
okay.
Thank you. It's just so confusing. I'm Peter Chatzky. I live at 206 Pine Road in Briarcliff, and I'm nominating Mary Satrin for the position of trustee. Thank you.
Satrin, would you like to come up?
Changing the board.
Hi, my name is Mary Satrin. I reside at 33 Hidden Oak Road. I'm sorry, I have an inflamed nerve in my throat right now. I just want to say I want to accept the nomination. I look forward to the process, and I will be explaining more as the process goes on. I love Briarcliff, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you very much. Are there any other nominations?
One more.
Again?
Yes. I nominate Kim Israeli for the office of trustee.
Okay. And is there a second? Mary, thank you.
Hi, I'm Peter Chatzky. I live at 206 Pine Road in Briarcliff. I nominate for the office of trustee Kim Israeli of 12 Deer Tree Lane. Kim?
Yep, please.
Okay. Good evening and welcome. My name is Kim Izzarelli. I live at 12 Deer Tree Lane. I've been a resident of Briarcliff for almost 20 years now, and I'm very pleased and honored to be nominated, and I accept the nomination. And thank you to the board to the People's Caucus board for holding this forum and also for organizing the forum next week. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm now opening the floor for nominations for the People's Caucus Executive Committee. Say again. Thank you for correcting me again. I apologize. That's my slip up. Mr. Pohar, would you come up and make a presentation? I just completely forgot. And after that, I will call you up as well, Mr. DeRose. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Pohar. I live at 14 Satinwood Lane. I've been a resident of Briarcliff Manor for 21 years. I'd like to thank first Pete and John for their nominations. Members of the People's Caucus Executive Committee, I stand before you tonight honored and humbled to have been nominated for trustee for the Village of Briarcliff Manor. I'd first like to thank the People's Caucus for their endorsement. The caucus represents a century-old nonpartisan tradition. This system allows the residents of Briarcliff Manor the option to participate in the local elective process easily with minimal expense. Aaron, Toby, Larissa, Clarissa, and Louis, I thank you. I've been a trustee in the village for the past 4 years. I've thoroughly enjoyed working with such a competent and professional board. Mayor Lori Sullivan, trustees Mark Wilson, Brian Zerman, and Cesar de Rosaire. We have been supported by a true gentleman whose knowledge of government, leadership, and experience is respected and appreciated, Phil Zigarelli. Our board has worked tirelessly to uphold the village standards and enhance the quality of life for the residents of Briarcliff Manor. Our mission and #1 goal is to work for our residents. I would like to thank my wife, Carrie, children, Chad, Sarah, and Sean, for their support and encouragement. I would be honored to continue to serve the residents, working on projects currently in progress, and to see them to completion, and serve the village in future projects to enhance the quality of life for our residents and family and our community. Thank you for your nomination and support.
Good evening, everyone. Members of the board, thank you very much for the nomination. Thank you, Carrie. As my wife had mentioned, I've been a resident of the village since 1992. I'm raising my 2 young children here in the village. I chose, after growing up here, to raise my own family in the village, so it just goes to show how much love and appreciation I have for our small village. In my experiences as a volunteer firefighter in the village of Briarcliff, in my experiences in managing and owning several businesses in the village of Briarcliff, and when I was younger, being an Eagle Scout in the Boy Scouts of America in Troop 18 at Briarcliff. I think I've demonstrated a history of service to the village, and I wish to continue to do so. Thank you.
Okay, the nominations for village trustee are now closed, and we will open the nominations for the Caucus Executive Committee. I'm pleased to announce that every member of the committee has agreed to stand for re-election for an additional year. If elected, this will have been my 5th year, and by our Constitution, we are limited to serving a maximum of 5 consecutive terms. So this will be the last one that I can run for a while. So do we have a nomination? Mr. O'Leary? Sure.
Thank you, Aaron. It is my distinct pleasure to place into, for your consideration, the entire existing Briarcliff Manor Executive Caucus. And as Aaron said, you know, many of them have served for 5 years, and they've done a wonderful job, led by Aaron, who puts a lot of effort and a lot of time into the caucus. And the results are easily seen by anybody in this room and throughout the village. So I place them in nomination for your consideration for re-election. Thank you.
And I'll fix my most recent error. I forgot to ask for a second. Do we have a second? Mr. Wilson, thank you. Good night tonight. Are there any other nominations for any of the positions on the caucus? You holding your hand up, Gary? No. Seeing none, I will close the nominations for the caucus. And since we have what will be a contested election, the special voting meeting scheduled for Wednesday, January 27th will be held. It will be held at the Teen Center on Van Luke Road from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. And there will be email blasts sent out to the mailing list of the caucus to announce it and announce the additional nominees. Thank you all for that. I mentioned that we're trying to do a fundraiser, and hopefully everybody will choose to attend. There will be a mailing on that as well. And also like to mention that we have launched a scholarship essay contest that will provide a high school senior from either Briarcliff or Ossining who are resident in the village a $500 award for writing an essay on village government, which may include the caucus process. So we are organizing a committee that will judge the scholarship essays. They are due in by April 1st, and the award will be made by April 30th. There are application forms in the back if anyone knows a student who they'd like to ask to participate. And we hope this will become an annual process for the caucus. Before we move to adjourn the meeting, do we have any other business that anybody would like to bring before the caucus? No? Then I will ask for a motion to adjourn. Mr. Pohar? And do we have a second? Mr. Austin, thank you. Meeting is adjourned. We'll see you on Wednesday.